Hi guys, and welcome back to The Last Game Hunter, and thank you for tuning in because I like when you guys tune in and comment and whenever that happens. Anyway, get a lot of subscribers but not a lot of talk. Hopefully this video wakes some people up. Okay, so what we have here is an actual real Commodore 64 that was made in 2011. Now, the company that started this up were trying to revive the whole Commodore name, and unfortunately the owner or CEO had passed away and this project ended. Now, what was unique about this project, we all look at it now and we think of machines like the one I did here, right? My retro computer, rebuilding shells and so on to put and make your classic consoles fun again. This was actually a Commodore thing. The other thing is a fan, is a product that's being made, and don't get me wrong, very awesome job, and I love everything about that other case. But there are differences, and this is probably what that was made from or inspired by. So guys, in this video, this thing inside, believe it or not, is an absolute mess. You can actually see the wear on it. It needs to be cleaned. We're going to make this what it was in 2011. Now, a couple things that were cool, of course, back when this all launched, because they really pushed Ubuntu. And we all know that basically the Commodore OS was based on this. Now, these people did come out with a Commodore kind of layout that you could download for free. But they talk about Ubuntu on the box, and they say Windows 7 compatible. That's right, Windows 7, because this is now 2011. And, you know, a few things, photos, email, chat, browse the internet, so on. Just because this was a PC now. But what we're going to do is we're going to put Commodore OS back on it, and we're going to make it what I think it should have been. So we may have to do some upgrades and not run it completely stock. So let's start looking at the inside of this C64. And by the way, Commodore USA LLC. Okay, now I was taking this apart and I thought I should do a video on it because this had a couple things in it that didn't belong, and what's in it right now is all in pieces, but it does belong to the unit, I believe, originally, according to the box. So right now we're going to lift this off because it's already unbolted, and we're going to put this right here. And as you will see, here is the fan that we see in the, I guess, more modern version of the case. And here is your keyboard USB. And here, this crazy long wire is your power and your light for the upper button, the power switch. Kind of cool. So that's all on that part. We'll just lay that aside. We know what that is. Now, let's look at the mess.
It's a mess. Such a mess.
Okay, so just making sure that I kept the screws from when I took that apart. Put that right there, because that's where they belong. And this was the mess that was inside. It wasn't like completely messed up like this. It was donated to me by one of my friends, and this is pretty unique. This board is not a board of my choice, but it is a board that was put in this, manufactured or whatever. This is a board they were using from Commodore. I don't even know what this really is yet. I think it's an Atom with an NVIDIA Ion GPU or something. I can see that they added a wireless N right here, which will probably just keep it like that. It's got a plug-in directly to the board. Now, inside is clean. I kind of did a quick cleaning on it. this can come out, and I show you I had it unbolted like I said. And one thing really cool about this, of course, is the slot load. Slot load DVD, I guess. Yeah, DVD rewritable drive. So slot load drive for the side, which is really nice and adds a nice touch. This hard drive here probably would have been the original hard drive. I believe it was a 500 gig. We're going to get rid of that. 1, weight. 2, no need of it.
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No.
And 3, according to this board, it looked like it took mini SATA, what we call M-SATA. And remember I did a video a little while ago? I think I still have some 512s kicking around, so I'm going to put a 512 in here, which should be more than big enough. The OS, the ISO, everything that I did was about 32 gigs, so I'm going to guess that it's not a whole lot bigger for what goes on the hard drive, but we're going to have a 512, so it ain't going to matter. I don't know if that's overkill. Maybe I should try and see if I have a 256 and put a 256 in there, because we're just going to be running basically Commodore on this. And will this be the Commodore of choice moving forward? I don't know. But we're gonna give it a shot and see if this is where I'm headed, or will the other one that we just showed become the new gaming machine for Commodore moving forward. Basically, this battery could be dead. I'm not sure yet, but I do have new ones in stock if I have to. And I think, not sure if these are just 2 gig sticks, but they're DDR3 SODIMM laptop. We'll find out what they are after when we boot them, but I think they're either 2 or 4s, so like a total of 8 or a total of just 4 gigs. We'll find out if that's good enough, and if not, of course, we're going to upgrade that. We have a card reader here on the side, just like the newer one that I have has. But, of course, this is going to be... I think they're both USB 2 anyway. I don't think the other one is any newer. I believe it's pretty much the same thing. Oh, that's a nice thing that I didn't notice before. So, I could technically... Well, I guess it doesn't matter because we already have USB ports. So, that'd be kind of stupid. So, what we're greeted with here, we have our microphone, our audio out, HDMI, pretty cool because at least we still have HDMI from 2011. 2 USB 3.0s, VGA, I believe it's a gigabit LAN, and 2 2.0s, and the actual power brick plug-in. Now I gotta find one of those two, which I should have something somewhere, because this did not come with it donated. So nice thing, I got the original box and all that. It's an original Commodore from 2011, so I can't be, upset or anything, because that's pretty amazing. So we're going to plug this back in here, because, well, might as well just use the N. It doesn't make any difference to me, and it is a, I don't know if that's a TP link or whatever, but I think it's just going to be a Realtek or something like that. It'll probably self-install itself. Maybe. We'll find out, of course. And we have a little dongle here. I'll zoom in. And that plugs in here, and that is for an extra SATA power. And that's kind of unique. Everything's coming right off the board. Right off the board. And here we have the connection for the optical drive. And of course another, so that one's power and goes to the board. And yeah, I'm starting to wonder if something's missing here. Because we have a 4-pin right here for the motherboard. And I don't see us needing it because it's running on this board. The power is going through, the regulation must be. So that's interesting. I do not remember unplugging anything from there. And I don't see any any of it in here. So I guess we'll have to take a look at that as we get to it. So first of course is I'm going to find some power, and we will go from there and see if this has actually got any life to it. If not, then we're at square one. I would like to use the original. I know it's Intel, and I'm not an Intel fan, but this is a Commodore built machine, so I know the board's not going to say Commodore on it anywhere, probably sticker or something, but the fact that it was done by them and delivered as a functional PC with Ubuntu on it, I'm going to leave this in here if it's working. Okay guys, so it required a 12 volt 5 amp, which is what I have plugged in here right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in this USB dongle, because I'm not going to hook up the keyboard or anything right now. Just want to see if we have functionality and power. Take a screwdriver and we're going to do the old power on. We have power. We have a beep. Alright, so we have video. So it's wondering now what we are going to do about the OS. See if I can get into the BIOS. Not going to be easy to see by the camera by any means. But let me see what we have, because I'm not seeing it very well either. So we have a genuine Intel CPU at 1.6. I know the camera's probably not going to pick this up. CPU signature 306D3. We're going to turn this off. Okay, so guys, now we know we have this working. We have a operational setup here. Now we need to give it some SSD or whatever, because I'm going to go that route. If an MSATA works, and that's where I'm going to go. It does actually have another thing here too. I think that might be a Wi-Fi. This is the mini SATA, so MSATA. And this is same port, but I think it's going to be a Wi-Fi. I do not think you can put two memory cards in here. It'd be kind of cool if you could, but no need for it. Like I said, this is going to be so basic. So let's power it down. Yeah, my little 12 volt 5 amp power supply I bought a little while ago. I use it for a bunch of different things here and there. Then it gets boxed back as it gets new. Weighs nothing, but doesn't get hot, so that's a bonus. If you guys are looking for something like that, I can link it in the description below. So far it hasn't let me down, but I will say when I plug in, I believe if it's plugged in and I plug into, so let's say the cord's in here and I plug it into the wall, I do sometimes see a spark. Kind of a creepy thing, but it hasn't let me down. Okay, pretty sure this is a 256. My eyes are not the best when I'm looking at something, especially I'm tired, but I want to at least acknowledge that things are going to work for part 2. Okay, we have a solid state in there. I have no idea if there's an OS on it, so let's boot up and see. I don't know if you guys heard that, but there was a pop when I plugged in the cable to the power adapter, and that always scares me. That's why I never leave that power adapter unattended, but again, so far, no issues. Now we're going to see if it's going to boot directly off this, or, and that is no. Unplug this for a minute. See if I can boot off that, I'm not sure. But what I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to try and boot, at least just a boot, to see if it sees to drive on Windows 10. And then we'll go from there. I'm guessing this is SATA 1, SATA 2. I don't know if it's reading these the way I would want them to read them, but we'll find out. Okay, it's not saying that there's no operating system anymore, so it looks like it's going to this. Sorry that this gets washed out. I'm having some camera troubles. I got to switch a lot of my stuff over, and it just hasn't happened yet. But here we go. It's booting Windows 10 just to see if this drive is there. And if it is, then we can go ahead with the rest of the... There's the moment of truth. Does not see the drive. Not a good start. And SATA, Wi-Fi. Yeah, okay, so they are separated. And that boy's a little warm. Okay, so that's an issue. We have to change something to get that to see. Anyway, guys, whether we go ahead with this port or not, I'm going to wrap this video up and let you guys... This is the stuff I wanted to play around with. I remember saying it before, and I love the fact that we're having trouble. That's awesome. So, anyway, till the next episode, guys. We'll get this thing up and running, hopefully in the next run. And if I do anything off camera, I'll tell you about it in the next version, and we will go from there. Game over, guys.